Numbnuts have beers in the mini fridge, or do I need to stop? Question mark.
That's our guest for next week. Welcome to the Full Buddy Cast presents Garage Night. We've got that was a little bit of a tease right there. Who would call me numbnuts and then come on the episode and talk with us? You'll find out next week. Garage Night brought to you by I'm tired. We'll get into why I'm tired, but Garage Night brought to you by lots of places actually. We'll just go ahead and just name them. We've got Cole Street Brewery.
and then
Needham Claw, Mazatlan, Bordeaux Wine Bar. By the way, we're going to have a Full Buddy Friday tonight that you're listening to it. It will be April 22nd at 6 p.m. Wear your hoodie, wear your swag, come on down. If you got a t-shirt, wear that. And we're going to semi-celebrate Corey. Full disclosure, his birthday. Full disclosure, he may not be there. But we'll find out. We'll find out more in this episode. But it's a good tease. Anyway, Garage Night ready to roll with the Bentley brothers. I got Craig Bentley on the mic.
Hey everybody! Just real happy to be here today. I'm glad I could share today in this moment, right this in time with you two.
Please stop.
That's good. I like that one.
I want him to go back to the way he was.
You wanted you're he's too normal for you. So now it's annoying you.
He's too nice. Now it's annoying me too nice.
We got Corey Bentley.
Hello there.
And anyway, let's just jump right in. We got a lot to talk about. I am tired. I am beat. I just got back from Edison City Alehouse in Tacoma, Washington. Went there as a Full Buddy Cast field trip. Took a little video. Don't know how that's going to turn out audio-wise. Hopefully it turns out okay. But we were able to meet up with Michael and Sasha Lynn. Sasha Lynn is a patron on Patreon with us. I don't know if Michael knew that when I mentioned that, but $5. It was $5.
He's like, what'd you say?
Yeah, but she got a hoodie out of it. She got a T-shirt. She was really stoked on that T-shirt too, the Brouhaha T-shirt. She was really stoked on that. Fun to hang out with Sean and go down there and do that. So I asked her, and this is kind of a spoiler on some. Hey, if you listen to some episodes, you might hear things on others, but Sasha kind of popped up out of nowhere. Like I haven't seen her on Facebook. There's not, my only mutual friend with her, I want to say is maybe, I know it's Sean, but it might be somebody else. But I kind of confused on how she heard about Full Buddy Cast and how she heard about Brouhaha. Anyway, we get talking and she doesn't, I'm like, who do you know? Who recommended you? She said, nobody. She just typed in brew because she's doing, she's got the Alehouse and she wanted to learn a little bit. And Brouhaha pops up. And so then she listens to that, gets hooked. She goes, I got hooked. And now I'm listening to Garage Night. Like, she loves Garage Night too. She said, I like you guys. She goes, it brings out the inner boy in all of us is what Garage Night does. So
that's actually that should be a motto. That's actually pretty good.
That's a really good motto.
You got to be careful with that motto.
Yeah, well, we're not doing the whole. Yeah, okay. Only Corey, come on.
I'm trying to help you.
I didn't say bring out. It brings out the inner boy in all of us.
Yeah, I'm just helping you.
I feel like that's okay.
You're the one that banned words and I couldn't say things, so I'm trying to help you not get in trouble with YouTube.
So we're drinking a Session India Pale Ale. Alcohol ABV is 4.8. Junior. It's got Junior on the can. John Salbrecht, shout out to him. He hit me up while he was in Vegas right now. He was trying to fly back. The flights got delayed. And he goes, hey, man, could you grab me one of those? So I bought him a can. And then he sends me a picture from the airport. And he's in this FBC hoodie flying back home from Vegas. And I'm like, this is great.
It's awesome.
FBC. I'm starting to see FBC hoodies different places. Gave one to my my kid's bus driver. And I saw her at the casino wearing it. So it's kind of cool. I'm like, I'd be like, catch me by surprise. So, and then of course I see Seth and he's wearing his. So, and even Jamie Roberts, he said, he sent me a picture the other day. He was driving his kids around, is wearing it. So I liked that. I posted that one. And Desi, also sent me one where she was on vacation. She was having a drink, and you could see the sweatshirt in the background. So anyway, that's cool. And I finally delivered to Holly, so that was good too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Today.
Good work.
Yes. Getting them out there, hitting the street, hitting the pavement.
One at a time.
Yeah. So
Just in time to put new merch out. Once you all get that one, get ready for more.
get ready for more. I do have to get more merch out. My uncle who he does we watch the dogs and he's like, hey, need more hoodies? And I'm like, I don't need any more hoodies, man. I'm hoodied out, bro. But I'm thinking maybe hats next. I need to get the hats possibly done by the time you guys have a golf tournament.
That would be awesome.
Because that might just be it. Might be full. It might be a collared shirt. I did hear you're fully sponsored now
What?
for your golf.
I have not heard that yet.
I ran into Seth. We'll ask him, but I ran into Seth a few days ago,
Yeah.
and I said, "Hey," he goes, "Actually, don't worry about it. It's taken care of."
Well,
And I was
unless
like,
he paid for it, and I still owe him money.
well, okay. Well, never mind that. He
I
said,
don't know.
He said his credit. Maybe that's what he said. His credit card paid for it.
Sponsored by Visa.
I was gonna say I got a text that said you owe this much money, so
I almost spit my beer out everywhere.
it'd be awesome if we were fully sponsored. I'd be like, I don't owe any money anymore.
Are you talking about a tournament?
Yeah,
Golf-
Seth invited
golf
us to
tournament.
play in a golf tournament
Corey, you knew this.
because I'm a golfer now.
We've talked
Did I?
about this. Yeah, he's a golfer now.
I
and-
probably toned out during that.
Yeah, you got a new hat.
No,
That's a nice clean
I got this.
Colts hat.
I got this down when we were in Indy.
Nice. Just
Yeah.
revealed it now
Well, I wore it. I just,
a couple times.
not to see for you to see it.
Yeah, no,
I was waiting for you
You gonna wear that out tonight?
tonight. Oh, maybe,
All right.
Are you gonna be there tonight?
possibly.
Are you gonna be there tonight?
It depends on if Corey's there.
Oh my gosh, you guys! I forgot you guys are Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Well, how about this? If I know more people are coming tonight, if you're gonna come tonight and listen to this, send something to Trav. I don't want to be just me and Trav.
It's not. No, I know there's gonna be.
I don't want to just sit with Travis and eat mozzarella
and not record.
Yeah, like
There's no benefit in that.
We might as well just record an episode and DoorDash mozzarella here.
No, I've got my wife is out of town, but so far I've got about yeah, I know. I'm like, well, Desi's going and Shekinah's going and Veronica's going and
Don't worry,
Andy won't be there.
Don't worry, everybody's heard the shit your pants story. So. Your wife's not too worried.
Yeah, Sasha.
Was she worried really though without that story?
Never. That was just she just was a little like well, that helps.
That sealed it.
It's okay. There wasn't any doubt there's not anymore. But yeah, so come on out for that. Pretty cool week for me with a new drink at Corey's work.
Yeah, I saw your pictures.
Have you ordered it yet?
No, because you lost me when you said the word chai.
Okay, here's the thing. It's got
just-
one pump of chai tea. It is Renee, she messaged me and goes, "Hey, do you want your own drink?" And I don't really go often to Starbucks, so it wasn't like I went to like Mazatlan a bunch and Andy knew. So she's like, "Hey, do you want your own drink?" And I'm like, "Sure." Of course, another menu item. Got a bingo card right now of menu items that I'm just trying to get my bingo. I should ask Sasha for that. I should ask. Do you guys have like a little lunchroom at your guys'
At
work?
City Auburn,
Yeah.
there's a lunchroom.
Is there like people working there making you food, or
No.
do you?
Does any city have that?
Oh, I don't know. City parks, man. I feel like you guys just live the real life.
What needs to happen at Mazatlan is if you go order,
Super burrito.
just order the.
Bentley burrito.
You know how McDonald's has a secret menu?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mazatlan does too. So when you order the super burrito, just order the super Bentley burrito, and he'll know what it means.
He'll know exactly. Be like,
Yeah.
oh,
Just start ordering it that way.
he's not there this week though, so don't do it now.
Yeah, just wait till you see him and then order the Bentley burrito.
No, because if he comes back and here's a ton of people ordered it,
Oh, demand it now.
Yeah.
Go just keep like, hey, I can't find the super Bentley burrito on here.
They're like, that's just a super burrito? Yeah, but,
Yeah.
the Bentley one.
it's a little more class.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys have pale skin, so there should be more sour cream.
Somebody doesn't get sour cream on it.
Yeah, sour cream's gross.
Really?
Extra guac.
Are you a yogurt? Do you ever eat a yogurt?
Every once in a while, but it's not a huge.
You
fan.
don't like sour cream though.
No.
Wow, you're like my
Or
5-year-old.
or cottage cheese. If I wanted to eat
Oh,
curdled
dude.
milk, I just leave milk out.
Cottage cheese. I'm sorry. You're still 8 years old, but I can, in my mind, because you don't.
Because I don't eat cottage cheese.
You're like, what? Let's just quickly run through some things that people didn't like when they were 8 years old. Do you like salad?
Yes.
Do you like salad with no dressing?
No.
Do you?
Does anybody like salad with no dressing?
Yeah. Who's out there eating rabbit food?
Do you like? Do you like the? What are those? Do you like Brussels sprouts?
No. I will say no.
Okay.
Because there's things that I'm starting to get made differently
you
for
like-
me that I like now.
Do you like spinach?
No.
You already.
But
you're
I-
8 years old.
but
I
I
like
am-
movie theater popcorn.
But
though.
I am on the asparagus train now.
See?
Oh,
I do.
asparagus
I had
train.
asparagus. It was delicious.
What was it like? Soaked in butter and salt and pepper?
No, it was just like baked and crunchy. And when I made it for myself, it was all like soggy and shit. So it was horrible. So I didn't like it.
I've never had baked and crunchy asparagus. Was it like
It was
air fried or
delicious.
something like that?
It was.
Oh, if you put it in the oven, it gets crunchy
You
too.
like
Really?
Yeah.
Mushrooms?
not my favorite, but I'll have it and stuff.
Let's see. What raisins?
I like yogurt covered raisins. There, I have yogurt. Boom.
Where did you pick raisins from?
Blue cheese. Do you like blue cheese?
No, I like a Catalina salad dressing.
Okay. No, do you like blue cheese though? Not the salad.
What else is there other than blue cheese salad dressing?
Ranch?
You ain't buying blue cheese straight up. If I have
Yeah. Are you talking about blue cheese as a food?
Yeah.
Or to put it on stuff?
Like you're gonna eat
Like
blue
the crumb-
cheese,
like the
yeah,
crumble?
crumbles, yeah, like
Oh.
on stuff.
nah.
See, you're 8 years old.
But I do enjoy a nice Gouda or Havarti cheese.
Ooh, that's
Okay.
That's not 8 year old.
That's not 8 years old. That's not 8.
Yeah.
That's you're getting a little older. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah,
You
so
have a menu. Right?
Do we ever know where we're going
no,
with this?
no. So then
Your
Renee's like,
drink is gross.
so then it's so good. It tastes like pumpkin spice.
Which is gross.
Well, I liked it, and
I'll make Carrie track. She likes pumpkin.
okay, good. Thank you.
And then she'll be honest with you.
If it's good, okay, good. Yes, thank you. I know that she will be, and she has to. Well,
Maybe I should lodge a complaint that I worked there. I just got my 21-year PIN, and I don't have a menu item named after me.
well, hey, that's true.
No?
I did ask you. I did tell her too, and I asked you first. I said, "Hey, do some voice calls." And you're like, "I don't even do them for my own department." And then I told her, I said, "Hey, I asked Corey to do some voice calls, and he said he doesn't even do it for his own department." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I've noticed."
That's very true.
Voice calls, if anyone doesn't know what voice calls are, it's when you.
The annoying.
It's a, hey, thank you, Safety Shoppers. Come on down by the produce and have some disgusting
asparagus.
Have some disgusting spinach. Why don't you throw in some gross Brussels sprouts
This week's
black
$5 Friday.
on your plain salad?
colored bell peppers. Come on down.
Wash it down with a tea coffee latte over at the Starbucks.
Yeah, take a bite of pepper, drink some chai latte.
But yeah.
If you're ever in on a Monday, that's what you hear all the time. Cheap Chicken Monday.
Cheap Chicken
over
Monday,
and
voice
over
calls,
again.
voice calls, voice calls. My most embarrassing voice call, I think I don't know if I ever told on the story, but we were doing raising money. Did I tell you this already? We're raising money for whatever, prostate cancer or something like that. Anyway, they had these Snap-on bracelets. I think I may have told the story. They have these Snap-on bracelets that if you donate $2, they had like 2 buttons that would snap on. Anyway, I said, if you donate $2, you get a strap-on bracelet. And my manager called me over to her office at the time, and she said, well, she's assistant manager. She goes, Travis, what did you just say? Did you call them what? I said, I realized what I had said. So
You want me to charge more money? Is that what you're saying?
everyone, but we got so many donations that time. Craig, did you ever have to be in a cage? Did you ever have to do anything for?
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
Corey knows what I'm talking about. Raise a little bit of money, got to let the person out, kind of a thing. You put like your niece or nephew in there. Has your kids ever had to go in there?
I went in a dunk tank. Does that count?
Oh, let's talk.
At Safeway?
No. So
Oh.
Just anything.
Yeah.
Dunk tank for what?
one of Jaren's client parties.
And did a lot of people just buy out all the tickets just to throw?
It was an open thing.
Yeah, I think it was free.
Oh, did you have a long line? Where people camped out?
There's some kids that like doing it.
Everybody was like, "There's a ginger in there. Let's get him."
I feel like Craig would have fun just trash talking people.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
so close!
Oh my gosh, almost got me. Oh, hold on, I'm scared. And then pretend to sleep.
That's a good idea. If I do that again, I'll do that. If I'm ever in a dunk tank again.
Did anyone actually knock you in?
Yeah.
Did they run up and hit the thing, or did they actually throw it?
Threw it.
And was the water like disgusting?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty warm. It had been sitting. Multiple people have been in and out of it.
Ugh.
It was all right though. It was fun.
It was pre-COVID. It's fine.
Yeah,
it was.
Where COVID originated from. And then, did you raise a lot of money, or was it just?
No, I think he does. It's his client appreciation parties. They do big things for a lot of their clients. It's a good time had by all. So if you're one of their clients, you get invited to this party every year. They do, bouncy house and that kind of stuff for kids, and one of the years, one of the very first years, my kids were pretty young. They had like the dude that has all the like animals, like little baby alligators and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, reptile man.
Yeah, that guy. He was there. They do a ton of stuff for their clients, just as an appreciation. So,
and and then he just says, "Hey, Craig, you're a good friend. Want to hop in?"
Yeah, I told him I would do it. There was a lot of people jumping in. It was a warm day. That made it easier.
Yeah,
it was during summer, so it was fun.
Dangle your toes in the water a little bit and cool down, kind of in the hot tub of water.
Basically.
Corey, have you done any donating type things where you had to kind of put yourself out there? Or
no,
you donated your.
I refuse.
Didn't you donate your appendix and
to science.
Your gallbladder?
I donated those to science.
So you're missing. You came into this world with two things that you no longer have. Is that what you're saying?
That I don't need. Obviously, I was like, "Why do I have these for?" I'll give these back.
Was that the worst pain you ever felt in your entire life?
My appendix?
The appendix, yeah.
No, not really.
What was the most pain? Did you even know you were having it?
My appendix, I was playing Madden, and I just ate, and I had this sharp shooting pain, and I thought it was like gas or something. Yeah. And so I went and drove my truck around, and I was like, because it kept getting worse. And
you drive a truck around, just hitting bumps, and gonna knock the gas around?
I'm like, I'll just drive around for a while. And it didn't get any better, and I ended up going to the hospital. And they're like, "Oh, you got to have surgery." And I was like, "Oh." And at the time I was married, so I was like, "Oh, I guess I better call her and tell her that I'm about to have surgery." My gallbladder was like a test. Over time they tested it and told me I had to have it out. But the worst I've ever felt was when I was sick and I had my lungs were bad and I ended up in the hospital and I couldn't sleep for like 3 days straight and I had rotavirus on top of it. That's the worst I've ever felt compared to the surgeries and everything else.
See, I'm always afraid that I'm going to have I have pains. I think we all have aches and pains, and we're like, well, let's just wait this one out for a little bit. And then it's like, well, it kind of went away. Especially sometimes you have kids, they're like, my stomach hurts, and you're like, well, sometimes growing pains. My mom's always like, growing pains.
Suck it up.
Now your back's gonna hurt. Get outside.
But then it's like you run into people that are like, oh yeah, my kid complained of a headache, and I took, or you don't run into it, but you read a report. And they were like, oh, yeah, my kid had a headache for like a half hour. I took him to the hospital, and he had a brain tumor. It's like, my kid has a headache for a half hour. I'm like, go lay down and eat, drink some water and lay down and eat something. How do you know that immediately? It's just, I don't know. My mom and dad were always like, when I broke my finger, my dad's like, you didn't break your finger. He didn't talk like that. I just mean, you didn't break your finger. Give me that radiator you got around you. Spread some salt on it.
Have a beer.
No. He goes, you didn't break your finger. And I go, yeah, I did. I'm like first grade. Dad, I did. And he's like, yeah, you didn't. And so then I took it into he took me to the hospital and they took an x-ray and I broke it in two places. Like it wasn't just one break.
And you're like, ha.
I'm like, see?
Two places.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of beer, I want you to, for the next 2 minutes, dig deep down inside.
Ooh, okay.
Your inner Sean.
Oh.
And what do you think? what do you think of this beer?
Wow.
What do you think of this beer?
That's what you think? Wow.
No, I just saw a sexy man walk into our room, and in fact, he's set up. He can just come in. We're not going to wait a full episode. He also brought some beer. Let me think. Okay, so this beer right here.
This is it.
Mm-hmm. But look at it. Isn't that a gangster can? Don't crush it. I'm saving it. But I will murder you. That. I mean, like, what do you want from me? Like, that's 4.8 ABV. I roasted this over a campfire with 5 people watching me. Like,
so, what on a scale, IPA scale? What do you think?
What do we like? What musical scale? Are we doing a fish scale?
You do a freaking entire show with Sean. You can't just have one beer and see how it is.
I'm gonna say this out of a 10.
No, I'm asking for like, what do you think of this IPA?
I like it.
That's it.
It's all right.
I don't brew it like he does, but no, it's okay. I mean,
so how about this?
I've been drinking all day. Hold on, just give me a second. Yeah, you give me
So-
an example, and then I'll do one.
Good flavor. Actually, somewhat less hoppy, not too bitter for as far as an IPA goes. I think it's a little flat as far as an IPA goes.
Okay, hold on, let me try it.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Here's what I'll say. It's a lighter IPA.
Yes.
It's like a hazy one, in a sense, a hazier one. I don't like hazier IPAs as much. Maybe like a Saturday after mowing the lawn at like 1 p.m. But I like a darker IPA. So it's a little citrusy, right? I taste the citrus.
Mm-hmm.
But the only reason I bought this was for the can.
It looks like lemonade.
So the can, yeah. So by the way, that was not Corey that hasn't cleared his throat yet. That is
What are you talking about?
Seth Lopp, who is actually, I realized recently in my phone, saved us Seth Lopp, Lopp. So I doubled up the P's, not enough O's, but I was like, how am I got his phone number in here somewhere. And I was like spelling out your entire name and realized it was a Lopp. And I also heard from Craig that that immediately when Craig asked you to get on here, you're like, yeah, I could do that. And then like you went to your desk and started writing down notes.
Listen, I know the challenge is to come and have stuff to talk about, so I have talking points.
Good. Oh, talking. Nice.
We'll cover it in the next episode.
Yeah, next episode. But
Well, hey, I just want to say good job on your 2 minutes.
Here. This is what I'll do.
Sean will be so disappointed.
I'll do
Can the
this.
title of this episode be worst beer review?
No,
ever?
yeah. Here, I'll do it. I'll do this real quick. This is what my most of my book reports were when they were not writing. They were then turned into oral book reports, and it was like
You get a
this.
better grade that
This
way.
is the greatest thing in the world. I would just kind of brush through.
You should-
Craig just won the AL West.
Hey, record that. Use that for the intro.
So here we go. Here's my book report that I didn't really read. Yeah, so this beer, really cool cover. I thought that would really like look at that. You can see Griffey, but he's like almost like a skeleton zombie with moon in the background. So I took a sip. It was good. It was beer. I liked the beer. And 4.8 ABV. That's what I was expecting, and I knew that when I drank it. A little bit of a head. Craig poured it, and he poured a crud ton of a Craig ton.
That's not true. Should have seen it as perfect.
It was a Craig ton of beer. And then they'd say, okay, Travis, you kind of read it, so we're going to give you a C-. There you go.
Only would drink after mowing the lawn at 1 p.m.
That was pretty good, too. That stuck with you.
Yeah,
That
I
stuck
remember
with
that part because I would never think about beer as what I would do it after.
Really?
No, I'm not. I don't drink that much.
See, the
have
heavier
that much.
beers are like, that's the end of the day for me. If I drink a heavy beer in the middle of the day, I might as well be just like roll out the sleeping bag and take a nap.
I can't remember the last time if I wasn't on a golf course where I drank a beer in the middle of the day.
Sun Lakes.
Oh, that's coming up in a couple weeks. He'll be drinking.
What exact dates? I'll probably be gone.
On my
but
list. We can't talk about it till the next
Okay.
episode.
We'll put a pin in that.
We're gonna table that, and we're gonna circle back to that at a later episode.
Come back next week if you want to hear it. Another tease, second tease.
Another second tea.
In the enticing next episode.
But go get the tea coffee latte at Enum Class Safeway Starbucks. By the way, another friend of mine saw it. She's a store manager down in Arizona, and she said this is going into my store's Starbucks immediately. So she's also I'm like freaking Pitbull, man. I'm worldwide right now.
That's the worst reference I've ever heard.
I absolutely enjoy that
No,
reference.
that's the
Only for the
stupidest-
fact that Corey is here.
Stupidest thing ever.
Worldwide!
Worldwide.
Here,
Yes.
you know what? I'm going to be the same as Pitbull. Ready? I make music.
You sound like Cartman being Pitbull. I got another story. So let me give a segue real quick. Corey, what's the worst thing that you had to confess to your parents?
The worst thing?
The worst thing you had to confess to your parents.
He hasn't yet.
Let's go kind of deep too, if we want.
I was a golden child compared to him. I didn't have to confess anything.
You never had to confess, like, oh, by the way, I accidentally took the car out and ran into a tree. Like, you never had any of that?
I stole a check once and I wrote it for $1 million, but then I flushed it.
From them?
Yeah.
I thought you just like, really?
I took one of her checks and I thought I wrote it for $1 million, and I felt bad. I ripped up and I flushed it down the toilet.
Oh,
And then she keeps such track of her checks that she wanted to know where her check was.
I thought you flushed it, meaning that you you wrote it and then like sent it to yourself and,
I was
and
like
deposit it at the bank, and then you're like, oh crap, I gotta flush this.
No.
So then like you went in like with a trench coat and like a fake mustache and sunglasses,
like a whole thing.
mustache. Yeah, and you're like, hi, this is Mr. Bentley. I accidentally deposited a check that was just a joke. Could you flush that out of the system
Transfer
for me?
that to an overseas account in this name, please. No, I was like 8 years old.
There you go.
I had to confess that.
And you were like, I hate spinach.
Yeah.
I hate
Like,
Brussels sprouts.
Don't make me eat veggies.
But I'm writing myself $1 million check.
You know what I probably watched back then?
Hmm.
I probably watched Blank Check.
Goosebumps.
And I was probably like, this Mr. McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh knows what's up.
Man. So then you went and confessed it? Like, hey, by the way, Mom, I know that you're missing check number 742.
I confessed it after she asked where her check was.
Honey, I haven't seen check number 457. Have you seen it? And you're like, Mom, I got something to tell you.
I was easy compared to him.
What was the biggest thing you had to confess to your parents?
That white truck was a ghost.
That's true. I totaled my car right after I got out of high school, and I blamed it on another car. And then 15 years later, I confessed that there's never a car.
Oh, how did that go over? Would they laugh at that point, or did they bend you
that
over?
point.
Did they bend you over and
Because-
spank you for a bit?
Because he waited 15 years to tell him that he ended up in a ravine and not a ditch because of that.
That's funny. That's crazy. Well, they didn't. Did they just shake their heads,
Basically,
and that was it?
that was it.
And they're like, "Well, I'm alive, so."
True.
But it was a
That's
ghost,
what I-
a ghost white truck.
Well, I had to tell the cops and everybody else something.
Oh, so you told the cops the same thing?
Yeah.
Falsified police report.
What's the statute of limitations on
Yeah,
that?
Craig R. Bentley, 253. No, I'm just kidding. Seth, since you are on this one,
All right.
what's the worst thing you've had to confess to your parents?
Well, not worse. Most shocking moment for my parents. was
Sure.
When I called them and said, "You're going to be grandparents," and I was 19.
Oh, yeah,
that was a.
that
was
would
a-
do it.
Yeah, so I'd say that was probably the one where they.
Did you do the whole? You want the good news or the bad news?
No, no. I said, "Got some news. Kelly's pregnant," and it was silence for a minute with both of them.
And you were like, "Is this a fake hang up?"
Yeah, no, yeah. Mom was shocked. Dad was pissed, but they're good grandparents. So no, it was
All turned out good.
the most shocking thing. Yeah, the worst. I guess not the worst thing. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing for me. It was a blessing, but the timing was a little earlier than what I had planned on.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what we say about everything
Yeah.
for the most part. So let me tell you guys a story real quick. I don't know if I told you this over the weekend or not. Seth and I have been hanging out. We're BFFs, by the way. Seth Lopp. Travis Keeney.
Did Travis start calling you to hang out once Craig told him you guys were best friends?
So my daughter, she's 17. I can tell this story. I'm not going to tell the full story, but she had to confess something to me. And, 17 years old, it's kind of that age where you're like, they could be anything at this point, especially freaking Enum Claw. I mean, it could be that she's, selling, heroin. I don't know. Like, it's just like there's so many different things. So anyway, so she goes, Dad, can I drive? Can I ride with you? Or can we go for a drive? She got home from work. Can we go for a drive? And I said, sure, absolutely, let's go. So we get going, and then she starts like heavily like getting emotional, and she starts to cry a little bit, and she goes, "Oh, you can't get mad at me right away. Like, let me say everything." And you know what? I've been struggling lately with a lot of different things. I mean, she's a teenager. We all struggle with stuff. I agree. She's working. She's got a school. She's got to fit in. She's got boy problems. It's like boom, 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 boom. We were all that way, and still are. Not saying it's like, oh, we're all that way. Not a big deal. No, it's tough. It's tough when you're a teenager, and and you think you have all the answers, but you don't have all the answers. Anyways, so. I said, okay, I don't say anything. And so I'm in my mind, I'm like, she's pregnant, or she's running away, or she's, like different thing. I had no clue, and so I'm thinking obviously the worst case scenario. She goes, I've been vaping. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, don't do that.
Yeah. Well, stop.
Yeah. And she goes, well, I got caught at school. And I've served a full week of ISS, in school suspension. And she goes, yeah. And I go, wow. And she goes, it's this week. I got caught on Monday, and now I've been in school suspension this whole week. And I'll go, okay, all right. Well, you know what? I'm proud of you for telling me. Thank you for telling me. That takes a lot of guts. Takes, you appreciate that as a dad. Thank you. I mean, that builds back the trust. She goes, well, if I didn't tell you tonight, Mom was going to tell you. I'm like, okay, never mind. Forget the last part.
Don't say that.
I was just going to ask, does the school not notify the parents when the kids get in trouble?
Well, they
mom notified the mom.
Notified the mom, not me. Yeah,
mom was.
I'm dope dad. Just like
you got to tell your dad.
Yeah,
but if you don't, I'm going to tell him on Friday.
So yeah, so I go, hey, so anything else? Like, I mean, like now that we're confessing, let's just get it all out there. And she's like, the only real other thing was, I mean, I've drank before, and I'm thinking about like when we grew up in Enum Claw. God. Oh my gosh, 17 years old. How many beers have you had by the time you were 17? Junior year, going into your senior year? Yeah. So I said, oh, okay. She goes, but I only had, she goes, oh no, she goes, one time. I only did one time. I go, okay, all right. She goes, I had a mic. and I go, a what? And she goes, I had a mic lemonade, a mic hard lemonade. I go, oh, you mean a Mike's? She goes, no, I only had one.
So she's smart. You got that going for her.
She's like, you can't fool me, Dad. I know what's up.
Yeah.
The mic,
it's not plural.
The mic hard. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, okay. Well, you don't know what it is, so I believe you. But yeah, so that was.
Go get a Zima and come back to me. That's what you need to start with.
Yeah. Well, I had have a Zima. But here's the thing that I had to confess to my parents on Easter Sunday, which blew. I think my mom was ready to be like, all right. So we hosted my family. Back, I haven't told this story on the podcast yet, but I'll tell it now. So this is back when I turned 40. I've never smoked weed. I've never taken a gummy. Nothing marijuana. Nothing. And so I'm probably gonna sound like Megan with the whole when I talk about. So I had a weed. Like, it doesn't sound. It doesn't sound the same. So anyway, never did it. Never done it. And so one of my friends for my 40th assumed I did it. I guess I probably give weed vibes. I guess. Anyway, he got
a little.
Probably right. The wheeze laugh and the woo, everyone. And I'm kind of like
coughing.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. So maybe I've been doing it. I don't even know about it. I'm a sleep smoker. Just don't even know. I go down there in the dispensary at middle of the night and break in. And anyway, I got the. He gave me some gummies and he said, "Hey, here's a gummy. you can't have it like the whole thing. You've never done it before. So just take a third, wait an hour, and then see if anything happens. If nothing happens, take another third, wait another hour. And so if nothing happens, then take another. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll do that. I'm 40 years old. Can't have my parents find out about this though. I don't. So anyway, I did it. Third hour, nothing happened. Took another one. Third, nothing happened. Took it again. Third, nothing happened. Nothing happened that night. It was so, and I'm like, I've been avoiding this. I would eat a piece of paper and probably got more out of that piece of paper than I did this. I've been avoiding this for years. So I was kind of frustrated. So the next day is red zone.
You gave him shark bites or something.
So
It's lifesavers.
gushers.
Waiting for him to go, man, I got so stoned last night.
Oh, dude,
It was crazy.
I know where you're going with this.
Well, let me keep going.
I can predict where you're going with
Okay,
this.
good.
Yeah.
I like that you know. You already see it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay, so then I'm watching the red zone. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch 8 hours of unfiltered, uncommercialized football. So I ate one fully. I'm like, I'm not doing a third. F that. Took one, nothing. Like 2 hours later, took another one, nothing. Had nothing the entire time. This is starting to become BS in my mind. I'm like, this is bull crap. I've been avoiding. I thought I was going to be looking at friggin' goblins were going to be talking to me. I thought the walls were going to be melting. I probably associated weed with like an acid trip, I guess, or like taking shrooms. But
the Green Fairy.
But so it's like a month and a half later. It's Jamie's birthday dinner at the Muckleshoot Casino, and we're going to have my parents there, her mom there, and my brother there. And I didn't tell her because I thought it'd be fine. And I hadn't eaten anything all day. And so what I did was I just, like, an hour before we leave, tossed back a gummy. Like, yeah, I'll take the edge off. Maybe I might feel something. Maybe I won't. So I get in the car. I start driving, again, an hour later. And it immediately hits. Now, everyone's like, oh, you can't drive. I'm like, I didn't know. I wasn't, like, taking shots and thinking I couldn't. This has never affected me before. That like 30-minute drive to the Muckleshoot Casino felt like 4 hours. It was just so long. And Jamie was like halfway through, like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like,
keep turning right over and over again.
And I go, she goes, you can't even finish a sentence. You tell me like the same story over and over. And I'm like, all right,
stroke.
Listen,
I have a podcast.
listen, I had a weed gummy. She's, you what? I'm like, she goes, you are so messed up right now. And I'm like, we'll get there. And so we get to the she goes, I'm not impressed. That's when she's mad at me. She's not like, I'm pissed off at you. She's like, if I do something I know I'm in trouble, her words are not impressed.
That's like the disappointing.
Oh yeah. Which I should have said to Megan. I didn't. But then anyway, I get there and then I see my parents have already reserved a table. And I'm like, shit. So then, and it's on this like the edge of a bar, like a full open like island type of a bar, and it's my dad and my mom on the far end, and then her mom is sitting there, and then Jamie sits next to her mom. So it's girls on one side. I know my brother's coming, so I sit on the opposite chair. So there's a chair between me and my dad. Like I'm like paranoia is kicked in, and I cannot let him see this. And so the whole time I'm just like trying to keep it together. I ordered a Mac and Jack because I feel if I drink a Mac and Jack, they're gonna see. They're gonna see this is where he's just had maybe a beer beforehand, and now
it's amazing what your mind does in those circumstances. Like your mind twisted it into, I'll have a Mac and Jack because it's the strongest beer out there, and then they'll just think I'm drunk.
Yes, big mistake. But no, I was fine. In fact, it was funny because that was kind of the end of that night. No one really caught on, I don't think, and then I hosted. So now another month and a half goes by, and I host Christmas at my house with all of the Kenny family. Like 40 people come over to my house, like all my aunts and uncles, everybody, cousins, everything. Everyone's over, and I don't take a weed gummy there. That's okay. So I'm not that dumb. But I'm outside now. My brother is Mr. Goody Two Shoes. super goody two shoes. He hasn't really given me the liberty to tell this story, but I'm gonna tell it anyways. So, so we'll see if he listens.
Here's a test.
So I'm outside, and I've been wanting to. He's my brother. I've been wanting to tell him the story for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I want to tell him this. I want to tell him a story. I want to tell him a story. I want to tell him a story. But I haven't, because I think he's a narc too. I'm still paranoid still there. I think he's gonna tell my mom and dad. So
Dude, you're 40.
I know. I'm so my mom still will text me. She's like, "You shouldn't have posted that on Facebook. You should delete that." I'm like, "Yes, mom."
Yes, mommy. Sorry, mommy.
You need to unfriend your mom.
Mom, I'm unfriending you. I would be murdered at that point. So I'm outside. I hear Adam talking about how he recently had tried one and he's talking to like my stoner cousin. Well, she's great, but she is my kind of my stoner cousin. And
so you ran to your parents and told on him?
No,
first?
no, and like he's with
That would be funny.
He's with it. I'm like, what'd you do? He's within earshot of my parents, and so then I'm like, well, I went up there. I'm like, dude, I did the same thing like a month and a half ago. That's crazy. You did it too. I was so afraid to tell you. He's like, when did you do it? I'm like, dude, you know what? The funny thing is, I was high at Jamie's birthday dinner at the Muck. And he goes, really? And I said, yeah. And he goes, that's so funny. He goes, I'm not joking. You were the most pleasant to be around in our entire life. He said, I actually had a conscious thought halfway through dinner, like, Travis is awesome to hang out with.
He was so calm and conversational.
Yeah. Obviously, now that he knows, like he should be your supplier. He should just buy it for you every time you're gonna hang out. Like the morning of, there's just a gummy in your mailbox, and you take the gummy, and then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna hang out with my brother tonight."
He's like, "Just take this. We're gonna see you in 2 hours." But yeah, so I had to confess that to my mom on Easter Sunday. We hosted them over, and you could tell my mom was like, and then my brother had to confess that one because I was like, oh, by the way, I haven't checked this off with my brother yet, and he's sitting right there. So remember at Christmas, and he's like, and then he had to explain his story. So my mom, it just
is your family on like Easter? Is it like confessions that you go down and
well,
do
you know
it?
what?
Around the table?
I'm just asking.
No, I had to talk about. I've
heard of that before.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing. I haven't done that because I would waste so much time confessing all these things to them that they don't want to know about. But the confession that I was talking about Megan, and then it turned into. Because then I told Megan that story, and then I told Madden that story, and then Madden's like, well, and so, yeah, it just kind of turned into just everyone, I guess it's a Kenny thing, just diarrhea of the mouth. Like, we just like, hey, you just opened up, now I'm going to tell you everything. So I learned a lot about my kids this weekend, too.
So I have two things on that subject.
Yes.
Number one, it will always affect you like that now. So you didn't have a reaction initially, but now it will affect.
Oh, I see. I think my confession to my parents.
No,
like,
moving
that's the same too.
Moving forward, it will always affect you in that way. So just be prepared.
Thank you.
Number two, don't ever drive again.
Yeah, no, I won't.
Yeah,
I won't.
Or if you're driving and you go, whoa, something doesn't feel right, pull the fuck over.
I still was in denial of it hitting me. I'm like, this isn't hitting me.
No.
And then like,
now you know what it feels like.
Yeah.
So go ahead and pull over and let Jamie drive.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I will.
Or call one of the kids and make them come get you to drive.
It was crazy.
I was driving you there.
It was like I was driving in Europe. Like it was on the other side of the road. No, I'm kidding.
At 12 miles an hour.
He just parks and starts walking on the side of the road, staring up in the sky,
Pushing the car.
What's going on?
No, it wasn't that crazy. But thank you. Yes, okay, that's good. So it's always going to hit me, and then just
So
I'd like
moving
to
forward.
see this. So.
When I first tried pot, I was probably 18 or something, and same reaction. First time, nothing, like absolutely nothing, and then a few months later, it was literally like somebody like gave me. I couldn't keep my eyes open.
Yeah,
it was
right.
Like, complete like and utter, like I was messed up. And since then, I think I smoked it one more time, and I took an edible once. And between the smoking it the last time and the edible was probably 15 years.
Yeah.
And when I took that edible, it was the exact same thing in 10 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like it will affect you like that for the rest of your life.
It's in the stream. It's in
something. I don't know. It's weird, but
I'd like to.
And
see
then I
this
haven't done it since
pleasantness.
because I don't like the
Yeah.
way it makes me feel. So
Well, maybe one of these nights when we record, I'll pop one
there
before,
you go.
and then you can see the pleasant.
We'll have the most pleasant recording ever.
And then you'll have the voice.
Yeah, I'll have the voice.
Welcome to Full Buddy Cast.
We got to talk with Seth here in a minute. We're gonna do our shout outs. We're already at our time. Go ahead, Craig. Who's your shout out?
You can come back to me.
Corey, who's your shout out?
I will shout out any Patreon who needs to write Travis because he still doesn't have a board for you up here with your name.
Oof.
But still a shout out to you guys.
Thank you. And what about you, Seth?
Who am I going to shout out?
Yeah, you got a shout out.
Oh gosh, let Craig go first. I hadn't
Back
thought
to-
about it. I thought you were just going with
Back
these
to
guys.
Craig. This is the hot potato shout outs.
Ping pong shout out.
I'm going to shout out Seth for being here.
Thanks.
You need to shout out Craig for having you.
Oh yeah, you shout out Craig for inviting you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks, Craig.
All right, I'm going to shout out the patrons and then Sasha Lynn has a question. We're going to end on the question, okay? Because she got back to me, and I feel like you have a full lineup, a full menu, or should we save it for the next episode? She's got a question for you guys.
Oh, hey,
let's
I
hit
got a shout out real
let's hit
quick.
the
It came to
question.
my head. I was going to do a real shout out, and I just remembered it.
Yeah.
I'm going to shout out Nick Tanner. Went and hung out with him. I was at the Ales place in Tacoma. Went and hung out with
You
him.
went to the Edison Alehouse there too?
Yeah, I told you that. Said that. But anyway, I went there and we went and did a little karaoke with Nick.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was a good time. So
Did you-
shout out
did
to
you-
him
Did you see like a probably a 5'5" female there?
No, I knew what she looked like, and I looked for her, and she wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
If you'd read, I commented on your stuff.
I've got, you know how many notifications?
I'm
I
so
can't do
popular.
that.
I can't.
I can't do that. I have to pay a person.
Anyway,
need
there's my
assistant.
shout out. I knew I was going to
shout out Nick Tanner. Love Nick. He's a good guy. Seth.
I'm going to shout out Ryder Popke, who is a kid that I started coaching football, or coaching him in football when he was in like 5th grade. He's working for Pavetta Brothers Construction. He's Caden's age, and I tell you what, like he's solid, the most solid of all kids you would ever want to know. So shout out to Ryder.
All right. Shout out Ryder. I like that. Solid kids. Kellen Hall. This is for the patrons. Kellen Hall, Holly Graff, Eric Madrid, Adam Kenny, Art, Seth Loop, not to be confused with Seth Lopp, Cassie Spencer, Amanda Keating, Shekinah Sarver, Jared Skelly, Homer Robertson, Veronica Lara, Ben Illman, Jamie Roberts, Jamie, the Dashing Jamie Kenny, Apollo, Dolo, Jackson Zinehook, Sasha Carey, and Russell Brandon. Come out to the Full Buddy Cast Friday, Full Buddy Friday tonight, April 22nd, 6 p.m. Start at Mazalon. Then we're going to migrate down to Cole Street and then to Bordeaux Wine Bar. Wear your hoodies. Message me if you want a hoodie. Pay me for the hoodie. I will bring the hoodie for you. Then you can get your 15% off at Cole Street. And then Andy's not there. We probably won't get a deal. But come on down anyways. Here's a question from Sasha to wrap it up. Are we saving it for the next episode? Are we?
Let's go ahead and do it now.
Let's do it now.
Might as well.
Which classic monster would you prefer to be? Godzilla, Invisible Man, Bigfoot, Dracula, Black Creature from Black Lagoon, The Mummy, Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's Monster, The Wolfman, or King Kong, and why? What monster would you want to be, and why?
Top of my head, not sitting and thinking about it, I'm going Dracula.
You want to live forever and just suck on people's necks?
Yes. I think it'd be cool.
Top of my head, I'm going Invisible Man so I can creep you out all the time.
Listen and listen to farts or fart and make
Or I'll fart and crop dust you
Yeah.
all the time.
Invisible Man. Can you imagine? You get in on every freaking conversation had on Earth.
That's true.
You just walk into the Oval Office and listen to what he's talking about, or anything.
Well, I could
Gotta go
fly in
Invisible
as a
Man.
bat.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm definitely going Invisible Man. That'd be.
He's like, why is there a bat in here? We need to kill that thing. No.
Dude, I had a horror dream. I had a horror dream last night, and I've been dying to tell people it. It was horrific, but I'll tell the next episode real quick then. But
A fourth teaser.
I'd want to be Bride of Frankenstein, right? No. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't even know who that would be. What is Frankenstein's monster? Oh,
Frankenstein
it's
was a
Frankenstein.
doctor.
Oh, it is Frankenstein.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd like to be Teen Wolf. I was Wolfman, Teen Wolf. I think that'd be kind of
Slipping
cool
on the
to be
van.
like a normal person. All of a sudden, just like I gotta get out of here. Or else all of a sudden, I'm dunking on all you fools in the high school basketball game.
And winning mystery HS all hairy like.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. We got Seth Loop for another episode on the next one. And appreciate you guys. Have a great week. See you tonight at Mazatlan, 6 p.m.
Goodbye.
Peace.
What was that?